Hi, my name is Drew Vergenay with Firefly Integrations. Standing in front of the 2025 Entegra Anthem, this diesel pusher is packed with Firefly features and control. Let's step inside and take a look. Okay, here we are inside the coach. We're looking at the 10-inch Polaris Pro main user interface in the center of the vehicle here. So on the home page, we have various controls. We have our lighting controls in this first third here. Interior master and exterior master controls, both on, off for interior and exterior. And then you've got your 3 entry, living, and porch lights that can be turned on. You'll notice that the entry and living have up and down arrows next to that light bulb icon. That means that if you press and hold those lights, you can dim the light loads. You can set them to your preferred dim setting, brightness level, and you can totally customize that by pressing and holding that light icon. There is feedback status on the light icon. If it's the light blue illumination, like you'll see on the living ceiling here, that means the light output is on. I'm gonna jump right into the light scenes configuration. This is a really great tool for you as the consumer. You can customize light scenes, set them up to control between 1 and 10 lights. So you can have your own configuration of your light scene. So I'm gonna go to scene 3. I'm gonna set up a few lights here. Clear all these, were previously set. I'm just gonna set a lot of the interior and then a few of the rear. The lights that you have selected will turn green. Right now I've got 10 of 10 selected. I'm gonna hit confirm. And then my scene 3 is then controllable. I can hit on, off, and it'll control those lights that I had set up. You can also on the fly set your brightness. These will save through power cycle, totally user customizable. And then there's a help tooltip, help icon on the bottom right hand side that gives you some explanation of how to set up the light scenes, what they are, so on and so on. More content on the home page. We've got status on our front, mid, and rear AC zones. That shows the temp status as well as the mode status, whether we're heat or cool. It also shows the fan status, high, medium, low. Power source indication. Right now we're connected into 50 amps shore. And then you have voltage monitoring of your chassis and house battery. It's important to note that the voltage is depicted numerically, so you can have a great idea of what your true battery voltage is. And then your last third here, you've got your fresh gray black tank statuses. What's really nice is you don't have to jump between pages to see all your tank statuses. You've got a great heads-up display showing all of your tank statuses at once. You've got a water pump button, your entry door, lock and unlock, and then your cargo door, enable, disable. This bottom area here, which is the negative space on the home page at the moment, is dedicated to your favorites features that you as the consumer can program, customize to whatever your needs are. Let's walk through that here for a second. To get to the favorites programming, hit the settings gear icon in the bottom left-hand corner, then hit the favorites tab. And with your favorites, you have 12 programmable button locations. So you can program a variety of features, your electric, your generator controls, your lighting controls, your HVAC, vent fans, slides and awnings, day and night shades. Program a few of these buttons here. Let's select some lighting controls. You'll notice that the light icons, they take 1 button space. Your electric features, for example, generator start stop, is going to take 2 button spaces. HVAC is going to take 4 button spaces. So it's just important to note that some of the favorites features that you could program into the button locations take up more than 1 button space. Okay, so I'm going to finish programming. And then when I'm done, it's essential that you hit confirm. So I'm going to confirm that, go to the home page, and then you'll see all of the features that I selected that I chose to appear on the home page in the favorites section are now there and are now controllable. Something that's really great about the Firefly system is our localized control of the slide outs. So we've got a slide out switch plate right above the entry door, right above the stepwell area here. This switch plate is very useful for when you leave the campsite if you want to run all your slides in, or when you return to the campsite, you want to run all your slides out. What's really nice with this switch plate is we've got a blue LED status indication. This essentially tells you that the button you're pressing is actually turning on the motor load that you're intending to turn on, in this case, the bed slide retract. Conversely, the LED status illumination, top left from the bed slide extend text, illuminates when you're operating that feature. Certainly, this is just that extra step of convenience. Moving right into the energy management electrical page. Something I really love about this page is the heads-up display of your power flow. So right now we're plugged into 50 amps shore, power source at the top left-hand corner there. It's showing a power flow from your transfer switch to your breaker box to your inverter. And then you're having a summary of what your inverter is doing in terms of it's charging the battery right now, and the battery is actually distributing that 20 amps at 12 volts to power the DC features in the coach. You have generator controls as well. Inverter status is here down at the bottom. Electrical settings, we'll get into that in a second, and then your Go Power Solar settings and configuration as well. EMS line 1 and line 2, this gives you a really great representation of the features that could be shed based on your VAC power availability. So if you're plugged into 30 amps, sure, and you're trying to run 3 air conditioners, one of your air conditioners, your rear air conditioner is the lowest priority, so it would be shed from running. Due to the 30 amps availability of power, you would need 45 to 50 amps of power to run 3 ACs. Auto Gen Start. So Auto Gen Start is a huge feature that I encourage everyone to fully understand and familiarize themselves with the controls in the Firefly system. So I'm going to press and hold the enable button for 3 seconds to enable the Auto Gen Start feature. Right now it's enabled. I'm going to go to the electrical settings, and you'll see a variety of settings here that are crucial to configure your Auto Gen Start so that it starts the generator at the desired time. So we've got a few triggers: low voltage HVAC load and insufficient shore. Low voltage will trigger the generator to start at whatever your start at volts parameter is. It also has to be at that start at volts parameter for the time at start volts setting. So for example, we're at 11.7 volts here. The battery would need to be at 11.7 volts for 60 seconds, and then the generator would start. It would run for a maximum of 720 minutes or stop at 13.5 volts. There's more settings here, of course. Familiarize yourself with how those operate and configure your generator accordingly. There's a quiet time feature here, and for the seasoned RV users, you'll know about the quiet time feature. There's certain campgrounds that have restrictions in terms of when you can run your generator so that your neighbors aren't bothered and kept up all night by a running generator. And so here's where you would set those quiet time parameters. There's also a pre-fill setting. Pre-fill feature is a great feature to enable with the system. It will look at the battery voltage, and if the battery voltage is at 12.4 or lower 2 hours before your quiet time, it will start the generator so we can pre-fill, essentially charge the battery before you reach your quiet time range, right? You don't want your battery to get to its start at voltage right at 10 p.m. So this pre-fill feature helps you avoid having this condition where your battery hits that low voltage point at the start or near the start of your quiet time. The Go Power Solar controller is used on this series to monitor your charge voltage from your solar panels. The Go Power Solar page is a great summary of what's happening with your solar panels, give you the specs of the solar controller and your historic 7-day total charge generation from the panels to the battery. The solar controller gives a great status on what the solar panels are seeing from the sun, what photons they're bringing into the charge controller, and what the charge controller is doing in terms of charging the battery. Here we are on the lighting control page. Your lights are broken into 2 categories, interior and exterior. You have your master controls at the top of the page here. Something that's really nice about our light master controls is the memory save feature. When you hit light master off, the system will save a status of all the light loads that were on and their dim state. So if you had 10 lights on and they were all dimmed to 5%, you hit light master off. The next time you hit light master on with a single tap, it'll bring all of those same lights on at the same brightness you had left them at. Additionally, if you press and hold light master on, it will bring all of the lights in that zone on to 100% brightness. Something great about the Firefly system in the Anthem is the switch plate touchscreen control that's in the bed overhead area. Gives the user, when you're laying in bed, full control of the lighting in the bed area in the rear. You can lock and unlock your entry door. You can run your bed shades up, run them down, day or night shades. Also, you can operate your master controls, and you can black the screen out. So when you're ready to go to bed, turn those lights off. You're ready to go to bed, you don't have any lights blinding you, keeping you awake. Moving on to the HVAC page. The HVAC control page gives you a good representation of your roof air controls in your Aqua-Hot system. What's really nice about the HVAC page is the color code indication for what heating or cooling sources may be on. Something that's really nice with our system is for the zone that has a mode selection, for example, heat, we show the icon, the heat pump icon, under the ambient temp. Okay, so right now we're showing the heat pump icon and fan high under the ambient temp, which right now is showing 69 degrees. Something you'll notice with each HVAC control zone is this refresh button in the top right hand corner of each respective zone. So the front has one in the top right hand corner. This refresh button essentially makes it so that it'll apply the settings that you have in this front zone to your mid and rear zones. So for example, if I had cool, and I hit this sync button, you'll see all the zones go to cool. They applied the desired temp, which was 75 in this case. They all stay at auto on the fan speed. And like I mentioned, they have the cool mode to trigger the compressor status. So just a nice feature to be able to sync all your zones, make your settings for a single zone, and then apply it to all three. In this bottom area here, you'll have your bay heat control. You would need to activate Aqua-Hot in order for that to work. When you see that little burner indicator appear next to the set temp, that's when you know the Aqua-Hot is on. It's actually heating up your cargo bay. Same thing with the floor heat. Now, with both of these features, you do need to select a source. So I just selected Aqua-Hot burner. The message for the bay and floor heat, I was getting a message saying I need to select a source. The bay and floor will not heat up unless there is an Aqua-Hot source selected. Since we're here, I'll jump right into Aqua-Hot Diagnostics. We have some advanced diagnostics with the Aqua-Hot system. It's a really great troubleshooting tool in the event that your Aqua-Hot has anything you need to evaluate, test, diagnose. It gives you, on this homepage of the diagnostics for Aqua-Hot, you get a great status of the electric status, the burner status, the coolant level. It gives you the manufacturer number, the serial number, as well as the software for the Aqua-Hot module that Firefly is connected to. Something else that many consumers utilize is the test function on this Aqua-Hot network diagnostics. Essentially, it allows you to test your various features, your various heating elements from the Aqua-Hot without the presence of a thermostat. It's not going to be limited by a thermostat. It's not going to be limited by any of its internal controls. It just allows you to test whether or not certain features of the Aqua-Hot are operating. And there is some indication at the bottom of the screen that walks you through a note about what the test mode does, how you can use it, and so on. Here we are on the vent fan page. Very straightforward. The vent fans are all controlled the same amongst the three zones, the kitchen, mid-bath, and rear bath. What I really love about the vent fan control on the Anthem Cornerstone is the speed control, low, medium, and high. You can turn the fan on and off. You can set the fan to exhaust or intake, and you can raise or lower the lid. So you have all of those variables in which you can configure based on your needs. It's just really nice to be able to have that customization over the vent fan rather than the standard on-off. Something I really love about the Firefly system is the ability to run all of your shades down or up. In this case, we're going to run them down. And I'm going to run them from the VigaTouch Eclipse Mobile App. So let me run them down here. Same thing goes, I can run the shades up. Really makes me feel like $1,000,000 when I'm in one of these coaches and the shades run up and down automatically all at once like this. It's just a nice touch of automation with the Firefly system. Now we're moving to the slides and awnings page. Something I really love about our slides and awnings page is the coach depiction, the floor plan depiction on the screen. The color coordination of the slide out on the floor plan graphic is color coordinated with the buttons that would control that respective slide out. For example, your super slide, extend and retract buttons, those are orange here. On the floor plan diagram, they are also orange. Same rule applies for the awnings and your window awnings. Jumping to the shades control, the same thing applies in terms of the floor plan graphic on the screen. However, it does operate a little differently. For the shade controls, you need to select the region in which you want to control. For example, you've got your cab, you're living in your rear. You would need to select that region before controlling the respective shades in that region. And it also has the color coordination with the shade zones that you would be controlling down below. So the buttons are coordinated with the shade zone that you are controlling. You have day and night shade controls for each zone. Something that is important to notice for your rear zone, for your mid-bath, rear bath, and your bedroom zones, from the main touchscreen, you cannot run the shades up. You can't run any of the shades up. Those need to be run up by the switch plate in the rear zone. There's one in the bedroom, there's one in the rear bath, and there's one in the mid-bath. You can only run the shades up from those switch plates. Here we are on the settings page. We reviewed this a bit earlier when we looked at the favorites. Let's jump right into network diagnostics. The first tab on network diagnostics gives you a great overview of the outputs controlled by the M1 system. Essentially, the green illumination means that the output is on, it's active. No illumination, what you're seeing as a blue circle there, means the output is off. And if that icon was red, it would mean that the output was shorted to ground or it was experiencing an overcurrent condition. The Devices and Inputs tab is a very great reference for the Firefly devices on your left-hand side, and then your RVC integrated roof, air, and vent fan device statuses. What's important on this page is for all of these devices, you've got a firmware and a config status. Those are great metrics to reference if you have any issues with any of the various controls, the air conditioners or the vent fans, or even the Firefly system. And then you have reference to your RSI 12 inputs. These are crucial. They dictate how your system operates. For example, the park brake input is required to extend your slides in your awnings. There's also ignition status, wardrobe lights, and water pump switch inputs. Park brake and ignition are your most crucial here. Whenever the park brake is released, all of your window awnings will come in at once. Additionally, with the change of state of park brake or ignition, any change of state will disable auto gen start. So if auto gen start is enabled, changing your park brake status or your ignition status will automatically disable auto gen start. Then you have your faults page. If any system faults come up from your transfer switch, from your Aqua-Hot, from the Firefly system itself, from your air conditioners, those faults will appear in a list form on the faults page here. Then Aqua-Hot Diagnostics. This just gives you great reference to say, okay, my controller's on, it's reporting the correct statuses, and this gives you a good summary what the solar controller's statuses, history, power generation look like. There's your network diagnostics. Okay, next tab would be the mobile app. On the mobile app page, there's a QR code in the top right-hand corner that you can go to that will link you right to download the VegaTouch Eclipse mobile app for the Anthem Cornerstone. When you download the app, you will want to find your Eclipse ID, and then you'll want to enter the PIN as it appears on your screen. That will give you access to the mobile app that's affiliated with this coach. And as soon as you enter your PIN, it will ask you to customize the PIN and reset it. Additionally, in the event that you wanted to reset the PIN, you could reset the PIN. Essentially, that will kick everybody off, and it will treat you, the user, as a brand new user the next time you connect to the app, and you will have the opportunity to customize your PIN once more. Something new with the Firefly system is our color theme selection. We have 5 color themes that are selectable. I'm just going to run through those, give you a quick look-see at what they look like on the home page. So we're on theme 1 right now. I'm going to go to theme 2, show you our green color theme, jump back. Theme 3, more of our aqua color. Theme 4, I'm going to call this our desert. And then theme 5 is our standard red and blue. I'm going to revert it back to the default color theme, which is the darker blue there. Again, just that little tidbit of user configurability within the system. It's very nice. Now we're going to show you how to connect to the VegaTouch Eclipse mobile app, the mobile app to control your RV and be able to control it from anywhere in the world so long as your coach has internet connection. You're going to start from the home page, hit the settings gear in the bottom left-hand corner. And then you're going to hit the mobile app button. On the mobile app page, you're going to see a QR code that will take you to a link to download the VegaTouch Eclipse mobile app. You'll also see an Eclipse ID. That's the ID for your coach's specific app module. And then you're going to see an Eclipse PIN. That's the PIN you're going to need to access the app module and have control of your coach. So I've got the Eclipse app up here. I'm going to scan. And when you scan, all the Eclipse IDs in Bluetooth range will show up. 312066. I'm going to check that, make sure it's the Eclipse ID I'm seeing on the touchscreen in the coach. It is. I'm going to click that, and it's going to ask me to enter my PIN. My PIN is 123456 in this case. 456. And then I'm going to be connecting to the app. And on initial connection, your device is going to need to be connected to the internet so that you can load the floor plan config, the button content for your specific coach's floor plan. When connected to the Eclipse app, you have full control of your RV. Everything that's controllable via your touchscreen is controllable via the Eclipse app, Bluetooth, or remote range. Remote being outside of Bluetooth range, connection over the internet. Let's say that you want to boot off some guests or the grandkids that have connected to the Eclipse app. You don't want them to control your RV anymore. Well, simply put, you just go to the mobile app page and you hit the Reset PIN to Default button, and instantaneously, any device that's connected to the mobile app, to the Eclipse app, will be disconnected. To reconnect, you would simply find your Eclipse ID and then enter the default PIN, 6/7. And upon entering that default PIN, you'll get a prompt to change your PIN to offer a customized PIN. So I'm going to change it back to 123456. And voila, I'm connected once more. And everybody that had previously connected would need to reconnect to the Eclipse app. And again, on the mobile app page, once you enter that custom PIN, it will appear instantaneously on that page so that you'll have a reference to what the PIN is when anyone else tries to connect to the mobile app or you connect any of your other devices. So a maximum of 5 users can be connected and controlling the Eclipse app at once. You will need to connect 1 device at a time. So you'll connect the first device, your second device, your third device, 4th device, and then your 5th device. And then all 5 devices can be actively controlling the Eclipse app at the same time. Okay, now we're going to look at the Firefly power distribution, the M1 panel. It's going to be in your 4th cargo door back from the entry door. All your wiring is in this area here, behind this Velcro panel. What you're seeing here is the main 12-volt distribution for the entire coach. What I want you to pay attention to is this 6 circuit boards. They're the Firefly M1 main power distribution. And more specifically, I want you to pay attention to these 2 boards on the left-hand side. The top board is your CAN router. All of your network connections for the RVC connections to your air conditioners, your Aqua-Hot, your chassis data bus, or any other ancillary systems would home run back to this board. See all the flashing network status LEDs. Those are important to recognize. Those are essentially saying that those devices, those networks are online and reporting back to the system. On the bottom left-hand corner, we've got our RSI 12. This is going to be the master logic controller for the Firefly system. In the event that there's any issues that you're looking to diagnose or troubleshoot the system, I would start at these 2 boards. Again, start with the simple details, network status LEDs. On the RSI 12, the bottom left-hand corner, there's a status LED. If that's offline, it's non-illuminated, then I would expect some of your features to not work. Now, with that said, Entegra Production does a fantastic job of a quality installation of their electrical system. One of the industry's best, if not the best. The electrical engineering team with Entegra does the best job I've seen of designing a multiplex system that is robust and built to last. So you can have confidence that you're not going to run into any issues with the Firefly multiplex system, but in the event that you have any thoughts or ideas that might be the case, or in the event that any issues do arise, this is where I would start. Remember that Velcro cover for your 12-volt distribution? Well, it's got this nice black label on the back. This black label depicts the pinout for all the wire leads that are running to the M1 power distribution. So in the event that a light's not turning on or some other feature's not working the way you'd expect it to, you can look at this black label reference where, for example, your super slide overhead light is wired to pin 1 on your high side driver. And you can check that connection. Make sure that the wire's there. Make sure it's plugged in. Make sure there's nothing physical layer-wise that's causing an issue. It's a very handy tool for servicing, troubleshooting your vehicle's 12-volt distribution system, or just understanding more about your wire up for your coach. A great automation feature with the Firefly system gives you great peace of mind as an owner as you're leaving a campsite, leaving your setting. You had your window awnings out to protect any rain from coming inside when your windows were open, and immediately upon releasing your park brake, getting ready to drive away, your window awnings automatically retract, all 5 of them, retracting at once. Incredibly valuable automation feature, especially because in these side view mirrors, it's difficult to see some of these more front window awnings in the front of the floor plan here. So I could see how that's an incredibly valuable feature. Slides are in, awnings are retracted, we're all packed up and ready to roll. I'm Drew Vergenay with Firefly. See you next time.